Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a nice fall evening, enjoying some of that cool breeze coming in. I know that Foodie Beauty, Chantal Salah, she's enjoying that home sweet home return to Kuwait at last. At last. Welcome in, everybody. We've all been speculating for a while now. There's been a lot of speculation going on. What has really been going on in the life of Chantal? Has she been staying in Kuwait? Excuse me, she been staying in Thailand because she couldn't get back to Kuwait? I think so. Tonight we're going to go into a little bit more detail about that. Oh yes, let me change the banner really quickly now that we've got it started up. All right. And we've already got a few people in tonight. Let me welcome you in. Nutty the Squirrel, welcome in, Nutty. Oh, that's a cute little picture you got. Hello, Lizu. What up? It's echoing. That is no good. Huh. Is it echoing for everybody or just for Nutty? Because I can try reloading it. Hold on a second here. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Is it good for everybody else? Hopefully it is. It looks like the audio is coming through pretty well. Hello from Hot Cup of Java. Queen of Awesome says it is not echoing. Okay, try reloading it, Nutty. That might help it for you. There you go. There you go. You got to fix the reception in your tree. That's the problem. You got to get those branches uncrossed. All right, welcome in. Let me welcome in anyone I missed. Welcome in, Hot Cup of Java. Cranky Turtle in West Virginia. Well, hopefully we can uncrank you a little bit tonight, have a little bit of fun. Welcome in, Queen of Awesome. Welcome in, Tink Frog. And Gigi Puri. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, let me start off actually. Before we get to Foodie, I have a really, really short vid just to wet the whistle with Amberlynn Reed. ALR having trouble checking out at, looks like a Walmart, looks like a Target, a little bit, not sure exactly, but it's only like 1 minute long. So let's check it out. 1 second here. Or let me use my little picture here. Where is it? Weighing in with Amber, with ALR rather. All right, let's see the vid real quick. And I got this from Earth Content, I think.
This one was cheaper, so.
Let me turn the volume.
Even though it's the same thing.
Oh, and by the way, she is still with Wipey. Isn't that crazy to everybody? What is going on with, I thought that they broke up. And according to Amber, they broke up, but apparently she's still getting rides from Wipey to the store and helping her move and everything. Let me go back to the beginning. It's pretty short vid. It's only a minute. It's a little bit quiet, so I'm going to turn myself down just to drop.
Wait, it's going to say.
I don't want to bag this. Don't want to bag that either.
Hey, looky.
Oh, we decided to get this instead.
I love Halloween stuff.
Because it's only $4.88.
Yeah, this one's cheaper, so.
Even though it's the same thing.
Self-checkout is the way that we go every single time.
The Wipies. I can't front though. Those are useful.
It's not for me.
Lies.
No, that's for me. No.
Is this an old video?
You can't do it that way. Pay attention to where the black line's going.
Oh. And I've never like physically
I think this is actually
used
an older
a debit
video,
card myself, like at a grocery store or whatever, because my partner always did it for me. They always used theirs, and then like I would Venmo them, or I'd give them cash back, just whatever it may be, because it was always like I have these like little weird anxieties, and that was one of them. Okay. And yesterday, for the very first time, I used my debit card. I know for some people that's gonna be like, okay, well, everyone does that.
Well, it was a short one either way. So either way, it was a short one. Let me post the link real quick to it. Just a little one to get your to just to whet your appetite for the main course, which is Foodie's return to Kuwait. And I love how Foodie frames it as what she wants, as the reason why she's glad to be back in Kuwait. So let me share the correct screen again. All right, this is like the main attraction. So let me get this loaded up really quickly. Let me put up the video real quick, and let me go through the chat real quick before we get started. Yeah, but this is Foodie's main thing, and I was joking about this. I remember joking about this with Skinny multiple times. How what Foodie misses most in Thailand is she misses the halal fast food from the Foodie's mouth. I don't know what you want to call it, but we are going to get it tonight. Yeah, but you folks are right. That was an old video. I got faked out. I didn't actually watch it before the show, to be fair. But we do have a newer Amberlynn video that we may watch tonight a little bit at the end, depending how things go with Foodie. And what's with those blade things being bad for the cats, Wookie Lover? Is it the scent that's bad for them, or is there a chance they might eat them? Yeah, that back bump, yeah, ALR has always had a bit of an interesting shape. Okay, Kidney J. That's why it was just released, because it was to contrast the old video with the new clip. Makes sense. Makes sense. She's glad to be back because of rice. Because of rice. How different can the fast food be? Well, Rosalind, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out. And I got this from Just Saying. She does a great job clipping the vids. Let me put a link in the chat to her channel, to her vid. I really enjoy how she clips the vids here. Special viewers unit.
The one that views, and the one that just can't help but react. Under Title 17, I am a member of an elite squad, also known as the Special Viewers Unit. These are the stories.
Okay, first off, what is it? I know that you folks, a lot of you are pet owners, and a lot of you are much more familiar with animals than me. But this first scene just jumped right out to me. What jumped out to you folks?
Stories.
What did you see in the very beginning? This is what I noticed in the very beginning. I'm going to give you folks a chance to tell me what you think in the chat, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. Don't let it run, actually.
You don't get any food.
What do you notice in that little picture there that's a little different than normal?
You want a small piece of bread?
I wish I had glasses.
Give you a hint.
Yes, Benedict,
That's
I am
something.
home, yes. Back in my home. It's not morning here. I know it is where you
Give
guys
you a
are,
hint.
but yogurt. I'm just eating my greens. Sorry guys, I'm so hungry. You cannot eat this. Please go away.
Which
Why would you
one's
hope for Canada? I
the
don't
rice
understand
bowls?
No, Canada's done with. If you're hoping
That is a
for me to go
serious
back,
thing.
there's no hope.
Let
I'm
me
here.
actually
I'm
pause this
Kuwait
for a
now.
second, so I can respond to your comments. Alizu heard the chemicals from the sensor are bad. I don't use either. Well, of course, yeah. You better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. And welcome into anyone I missed. Everyone, hopefully, if you're enjoying the stream, maybe you could drop a like on the smash that like button. And if you're enjoying the replay or just enjoying lurking, why don't you click on subscribe if you'd like to see more of these fun lives. And if you're watching the replay, why don't you leave a comment? Let us know what you think, or let me know what you think about Chantal's return. Anything in this video jumps out at you. So what jumps out at me, and I'm going to tell it now. What jumps out at me is what doesn't jump out away from Chantal. The cat, Julia. Look how Julia doesn't immediately jump away when Chantal grabs her. She's kind of pushing away a little bit, but for Julia, this is downright affectionate. Sitting there, letting herself be kissed and hugged and loved on.
You don't get any food.
Letting Chantal rub on her. Look at that. That is not how she normally is.
I wish I had glasses.
I'm not even like a super pet person, but even I recognize that immediately, that the cat was much more affectionate out of nowhere. What does that tell me? That the cat has been, I don't want to say neglected, because that's such a strong word, but I feel the cat has not had a lot of attention, let's say, since Chantal's been gone, which lends credence to the theory that Chantal didn't adequately board the animal. Unfortunate to say. Yep, exactly, Queen of Awesome. The cat is putting up with her. Exactly. I didn't notice the fur. Thank you for pointing that out, Nutty. I didn't notice that. I'm going to look at that. And yes, the cat does want down. But for Julia, that is downright affectionate. Julia's disassociating. Yeah, the cats do not like to be manhandled like this. And Julia normally does not put up with it. Her fur is looking messy. Okay. Yeah, Kitty doesn't like it, but she's putting up with it tonight, though. That's the thing I noticed. Hello, Angel Glass. Welcome in. Very cute picture you got there. Welcome in, Camps. Oh, I have not seen Kidney J's new video today. I've been remiss on that. I know that Kidney J put out a new one today. Everybody go check that out. Kidney J, if you want to link your channel, that's always cool. Cat, yeah, the cat wants off. Chantel's, yep. She is a street cat. She is tough. She did push out. Okay, so now let's keep watching. Foodie even mentions how affectionate Julia's been. My conspiracy theory, and I'll mention it now because we have a pretty good, most people have already made it in so far, and anybody watching the replay, hopefully you're situated at this point. My conspiracy theory, I can't prove this, is that she just kind of left a bunch of food, like a big giant bag of dry food for Julia, and maybe there was like a little kitty door that she could get in and out of the apartment, and she just ran off on her own and just kind of came back on her own when she ran out of food or something like that, or maybe went out when the litter box got too full. I'm not sure exactly, but I get the impression that Julia just kind of had to fend for herself, and that's why she's so glad to see Foodie. She's just so excited. She's like, "Oh my God, you're back! I've survived." That's the impression I get. Julia just seems really happy to see anybody, like even Foodie, who she can't stand. She's stabby. Even and Foodie even points out, "Oh, she's so affectionate." I think that's because she's just glad to be alive, glad to get some fresh food for a change. That's my theory. I want to hear what you folks think. You said that she looks a little matted. That only, in my opinion, I think that lends more credence to the theory that she was not put in a proper boarding facility. Allegedly, she was put with friends, but were those friends taking adequate care? I think that's a good question.
Yes, Benedict, I am home, yes. Back in my home. It's not morning here. I know it is where you guys are, but yogurt. I'm just eating my greens.
Oh, yes, please.
Sorry, guys, I'm so hungry. You cannot eat this. Please go away.
Okay,
Why
that
would you
makes a
hope for
lot of
Canada?
sense.
I
Like
don't
a
understand
neighbor
that.
just like came by and left a plate of food. That would work especially if she had like a little kitty door in the apartment block, and the neighbor could just leave like a little bit of food outside the door, and she kind of snuck out through a window or something. That would work. I think Foodie could do something like that. I didn't want to say it, Nutty, because I'm not a pet owner, but I was wondering if that was a possibility. If they just kind of left her in there and she just pooped all over the place and she didn't, and she really, and Foodie was talking about how Julia was kind of like sitting on the couch next to her. And Foodie never films anything other than the couch. So for all we know, there's cat poop everywhere. There could be. They may have had someone stopping. Hopefully they had someone stopping over daily. I think that would have been about the best thing I could hope for in their case. Maybe once a week, probably. And you know what that leads to? I'm saying maybe not giving this enough seriousness. I'm kind of joking around a little bit, but it is cruel, in my opinion. I don't think they took care of her properly at all. And I'm joking around a little bit because I like to make the show lighthearted, but it's unpleasant to think about the fact that she's basically just left the cat on its own, because she seems to me that she planned to be back earlier than she was. So whatever plans she did make for the cat, I don't think they were made for long enough. Certainly not. And that's the other theory, Kim Delaney. Yes. All right. You brought it up, so I'll bring it up too. I think they're working on Howie number 3. I think they're working on Howie number 3. Any of my longtime viewers, this was back even before I had my channel, back when I used to just go on Skinny's channel sometimes. My theory was that when Chantal went back to Canada, Salah just ditched Howie and they replaced, and he bought a new Howie when she came back with the new cage. So would this be Howie number 3? Again, I don't want to make light of it, but Chantal could not care less. It's sad. It's sad. But I'm trying not to let it, I don't want to make it, I want to make it as upbeat as possible. And again, I hope this is just a conspiracy. I hope this is just crazy conspiracy theory and none of this is true and that the animals were taken care of. But we have to unfortunately admit that some of this is possible. So I'm just trying to put it in the most humorous light, I guess we could say. Exactly, oranges. That's what I'm feeling too. I'm not even a pet owner, but that's the vibe I get. The cat seems like overly affectionate, like it just wants to get some contact with anybody. And it's a street cat. So she's used to being on her own. And welcome in also, oranges. And welcome in Kimberlina. And welcome in anybody else if I missed you coming in. I've been trying to keep up. What if it's not even Julia, right? What if it's Juliet? We don't even know who this is. Exactly. She said her house was a mess. Well, it was a mess before she left too, to be fair, right? No, I get it, but you're right though, Angel of Glass. It could have been like a real nasty mess. That's a good point, Rosalind. Salah needs to get back to on track. He probably got a little spoiled in having his own hotel room. Because I believe Skinny on that theory. I originally had a different theory, but I totally think Skinny was right. They were staying in different hotel rooms, at least for a big portion of the trip. Oh, wow. Kitty Tootsie Rolls all over. Yep. Or number 4 even. I hope not. Money on Bowl says Nutty the Squirrel. Well, I mean, you're a squirrel. Maybe you could talk to the new Howie. Find out if he's the same one. And welcome in anybody. I missed my apologies, everyone. Well, welcome in Blondie. Hope you're good. Welcome in Rudy. 7:16 p.m. where you are. Have a great night. Oh, welcome in Skinny Queen. Absol, thank you for posting the link. Yes, and everybody, please check out Skinny Queen Reacts. She has a fantastic show. Hopefully everything is good with her tonight. But she was the one who had the theory about them staying in different hotels. So I always give credit where it's due if I can remember. That is a sadly good point, Nutty. Rodents are very delicate. Even though we're used to rats being impossible to kill, it's not like that with pets. Pets are very different. Rats are very hardy, but pets are very delicate. You have to treat them delicately. Foodie is too rough. She has those big mitts for hands. And I'm always, whenever I see her pick up Howie, it always looks like she's going to squeeze him too tight. So I don't even really think she's a good owner for a rodent, especially with the pet cat. I don't think she's good for that. Geez, so many great comments. I got to get back to the video in a second. Okay. Yeah, possibly poop all over. Welcome in, everybody. If I miss anyone, geez, I'm going to have to skip through a few comments just to get back to the show. Oh, welcome in, House Hannibal. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, and everyone, please check out Hannibal. Hannibal, feel free to post a link to your show as well. Hannibal does a great show a lot of nights. Definitely check him out. Okay, it's more like a city country dialect kind of thing. All right, I got you. She does have the Shrek heads. Speaking of Shrek heads, we got a clip of Airsoft Fatty tonight for later because people were asking what's his apartment look like because he got that kitten recently. Well, you're going to get a look at his new and improved shack apartment. I call it an apartment. That's too nice of a word to describe it. The tool shed. All right, let's get back to Foodie's little video. This is a shortened version.
No, Canada's done with. If you're hoping for me to go back, there's no hope.
Just saying,
here.
never really gets it loud enough. Let me
No, I haven't waited.
Volume.
Look at this food. Super cheap, fresh, delicious kebab with Bukhari rice, which is like an Afghani style rice, and yogurt and fresh bread. Baby girl, my cat's been sticking to me like glue.
What was that, Chantal? What was that last line?
Fresh bread. Baby girl, my cat's been sticking to me like glue.
The cat's been sticking to her like glue. Wonder why it's been so affectionate. Wonder just kind of reinforces what I'm saying.
And they give you a look at this fresh bread. It's still hot.
She's giddy over the bread.
The Middle East has the best food. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not going to always be just eating on the couch, but when I do lives, I mean, I don't know where else to go. Very exhausted. We got home yesterday.
She's
walk on the beach.
Big rice.
Actually, it's still not that. It's getting, it's in the 30s now instead of the 50s. We will be doing more because it's winter. Like, I couldn't, getting away from this intense heat for a month and a half. I think we might do that every summer here because it's so hot. I know, I'm happy to be home. Yes, Nesta. So we got to Kuwait around 4 p.m. Oh my gosh, the cat has been nonstop, purring loudly, just sticking to us like glue. She's so happy to see us.
Really, Chantal? Really? And I did see some of this live ahead of time. So I remember her talking about this. So that's part of why I made That's why I stress that. It's just the way she describes, even she is shocked. She's giving away all of the secrets without meaning to. She's reinforcing my belief that Julia was incredibly deprived of attention and affection. And she's essentially describing that through the reaction right now.
We slept so much because we were so tired. It was a very, very long travel day because we were so excited, right? Just like packing everything and, ready to be home. We just stayed awake until our flight, so we had to go to the airport because you have to be at the airport pretty early, right? So I'm like, we'll just sleep on the plane. We have to be on the plane for almost 7 hours. Yeah, right. The plane. I forgot how uncomfortable it is. So I barely got any shut eye. Maybe I'm without my CPAP, And they kept waking you up for drinks or dinner.
Perfect timing. Looks terrible. I don't like to look shame too much because we can't always control. I mean, we can control our looks to an extent. We can control our weight to an extent, certainly. We could control our skin wash our face, stuff like that. Somebody today said it looked like she had rosacea. I think it looks like she needs to wash her fascia. That's what she looks like she has. And you can see the lines where her CPAP is. Skinny pointed that out to me. And you can see along the face the CPAP lines. That's where she needs to wash her fascia. 86 degrees Fahrenheit in Kuwait? That's not bad, actually. If that's Kuwait, that's pretty darn nice. And yeah, Camps, the food, the portions. She was in Thailand. When she first went to Thailand, she was doing well. I shouldn't say good. She was doing great, but she was, for Foodie, as well as I'd seen. She was eating meals that were maybe 1,000 calories, 1,200, 1,400 even. But they were, for her, they were a lot smaller than normal. But now she's back to the big old meals again, the family size rice. She had that big Burger King toward the end of the Thailand visit. She was eating a lot. All right, I got to post the poll in the chat. It's a little bit, it's maybe a little bit, I don't know. I'll let you decide. 1 second. I got to type this up without taking too long. 1 second here. All right, I got a question for all you in the poll. 1 second. All right, everybody, let me know what you think on this poll. Okay. And welcome into anybody I missed. My apologies. Welcome in, Patty. It's rosacea and permanent dark spots. Maybe somebody can inform me on this one with the dark spots. I've heard that that's possibly from diabetes. I think that could be true too. About that, Chantal loves to act like she thinks she owns the reactors by saying, oh, the cat loves me so much. Oh, the cat wants affection so bad. The cat is so happy to see that I'm home. She doesn't realize that she's showing the opposite of what she thinks she's showing. She thinks she's making it sound like, oh, see how much the cat loves me? You're showing how neglected the cat is. Can be from high BP, the redness. That's a possibility too. She really shouldn't have traveled this summer, because this summer, she got a boil and if she didn't get the boil, she was having trouble walking. So whatever on that. And that is true too. Julia loves when Chantal has food. The rest of the time, she hangs out with Salah. Yeah, welcome in, everybody. My apologies, I missed anyone. And anybody watching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You can answer that poll yourselves. Well, the cat may have got her freedom if they left the window cracked while she was gone, right? She looks like 10 miles of rough road. Yeah, Foodie's skin is not her best. Between the CPAP lines and I guess the humidity in Thailand really did a number on her. I was raised in South Florida, so I know what humidity can do to your skin. And when I was in high school, I had terrible skin. And I don't even have bad skin, like as an adult. But when I was in high school, and it wasn't just from being in high school, it was from the humidity. It was just always so humid. If you had any predisposition toward any kind of skin problem, it was gonna happen when you have that high humidity and heat. So in Canada, she didn't have those problems. At least I don't think so. Yes, very much so, Nutty. And in fact, I even have a little segment coming up after this video. This video is, we have so many great comments, it's taking a little bit longer than I wanted. But after this one, though, I have a whole little segment about Foodie kind of throwing some shots at FFG, which is just so weak, I had to cover it. Hard no. When does she ever bathe, shower? I want to say on her wedding night, she probably thought about it at least. Red face, high blood pressure, right? Like one of those bodybuilders takes too many steroids. Compromise, right? I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. Well, yeah, you know what, Nutty? Back when they were in Thailand, they had the opportunity at the elephant sanctuary, but I don't know if they in Kuwait. But maybe they have a car wash in Kuwait they could use, something like that, or a camel wash. Who knows? Yeah, and I was thinking the other day too that it's the CPAP and the blood pressure medication and all of that. That's really what's keeping Foodie alive. She's really living on science. If you think about it, I'm sure she has some kind of a blood sugar medicine, or she should be on one at least. But she has a blood pressure medication. She has CPAP. I'm sure she has some other things that we don't even know about, and that's basically what's keeping her going. If that's not a warning sign that she needs to take her health a little more seriously than what is, you know, that's her body saying, "Hey, enough is enough." Oh geez, I knew about the cirrhosis, but it makes sense. Fatty liver is similar, so yeah, makes sense. I know sometimes people, they get red, or they can even get yellow. They can get like jaundice type like symptoms if it's really bad. Yes, Wookiee lover. She's trying to show off. All right. All these great comments, but I just got to let it run a minute. I'm going to read some of your comments.
It was exhausting. Like by the end of it, I'm like, I'm so ready to just like crash out.
It happens to everybody.
But then when we get home, we get to Kuwait, we had to go pick up the pets, then bring like everything upstairs, which I mean, I'd been at least a little bit, but the work is not over. I feel like we just moved in. There's like, I can't really show you much because it's a disaster in here, unpacking everything. Oh my gosh.
She is just, in her effort to kind of throw out a smoke screen, she's confirming all of every one of my conspiracy theories. And again, for full disclosure, I did see some of this live, but I didn't, you know me, I don't watch it and take notes like that. I just kind of watch a little bit, skim through it just to see if there's anything really interesting. And then I watch the clip version later. Unless I have a day off, and then I do watch the lives in full on occasion. But on this one though, she is just confirming all of our theories, really.
Like the weight limit, I think was like 50 kgs, okay, for checked baggage. Ours was like 50 right on the dot. We had so much baggage to bring home. But it's so nice to be back in the land of...
He has a lot of baggage. Tell me something I don't know, right? Oh, she means at the airport. Oh, okay.
The halal. There's no place like home, yeah. So we have to like restock. I have to clean everything because I cleaned before I left really well, but somehow it still was like dirty a bit when I came home because like a month and a half, you know?
It was dirty because it was a month and a half. Why would it be dirty because, hold on. Why would it be dirty because it's a month and a half if there's nobody in there? Like if you cleaned out, I've gone on vacation. I've left my place for a while. If you clean out the fridge, you clean out all of the, the open food items. You clean out, any of the you don't have, you have the animals boarded someplace else if you have animals. Yeah, unplug the electronics. It really shouldn't be a mess. I mean, a little dusty, I guess, but that's about it. Maybe a little dusty, maybe a little musty, but it shouldn't be dirty, Not by her standard, at least.
Can you give me some?
Here.
No, small one. You have too much lamb there.
Oh yeah, listen to this. I wish I could make this louder. I'm gonna put on the closed captioning because it's hard to hear it. Just saying, I love Just Saying's channel, but she needs to boost her volume signal a little bit on her clips, because I love her clips, but she needs to boost that volume a little. Okay. Chantal had the big plate with the kebab, that was like 4 pounds of rice and 2 big kebabs from lamb. Let's hear what Salah has to say when he asks for a little bit of the lamb.
Dirty a bit when I came home because like a month and a half,
You have to try the lamb. Oh my god, it's so tasty.
Have some kebab.
Okay, give me some.
Here.
No, small one. You have too much lamb there. Hey, Julia.
Oh, sorry, you can't read it because
Wow.
there's stuff in the way.
Wow.
Thank
What
you,
he
that's
said,
very good.
let me
You too,
stop
Lily.
it, pause it, so you guys
you.
can hear it.
Anytime.
What he said was that, oh, you have to try the lamb, it's so good. And then she said, oh yeah, have some kebab. And then he said, oh, you have too much lamb. In other words, she just took all the lamb. I was going to give him a taste, wasn't even going to give him any. I guess he's used to that. Or maybe he was used to, in Thailand, having his own room and his own food for so long that he forgot what it was like with Foodie taking everything.
What else was I gonna say about the trip? So yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You guys want to see Julia?
Oh, welcome in, Lynn Smith. Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, say hi.
Thank you very much. Glad to have you over here.
Hmm.
Oh, yes, please, Skinny. Thank you.
Oh. Oh.
And okay, now the cat is back to
You don't
normal.
like to be held.
Julia's back to normal. Let's see
Want to
this.
Julia?
Because normally Julia wouldn't even put up with a second grab like this. And Foodie is so darn rough with the cat. Like some cats enjoy being handled more than others, but Foodie is so darn rough. I don't think any animal would enjoy being handled. She handles it like a 2-year-old, or maybe not 2, a 3-year-old, 5-year-old. We know what I mean. Young child with bad coordination. And she's got those big old mitts too. So she doesn't feel how rough she's being when she's being rough. She doesn't even, I don't think she feels very much in those hands of hers. I don't think they have much
Oh, say
sensitivity.
hi. 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 You smell the meat?
Oh.
And now it runs away immediately. It's done.
You don't like to be held very much, do you? Hey. Howie's in the other room.
And she still tries to give one more rub to Julia after she busts off when she realizes she's not getting any food. This is pretty much one of the only allusions to Howie the entire time. She says, oh, Howie's in the other room. We need proof of life on Howie, Foodie. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. Oh, and let me end the poll here. Everybody get a chance to fill it in. She's not taking any of her meds, says Kidney J. All right, fair enough. Oh, the niacin shots make you okay. Well, thank you for letting me know, Wookie Lover. Learned something new. A car wash. There you go. Yep. Okay, let's end the poll. Let's see what we got here. Well, welcome in, the Watcher. That's a good question. I remember when she claimed the migraines and stuff when she had to do the cleanup at the campsite. Okay, the poll says here, big 88% say no. Almost all of you, 7/8 approximately. 7 and 8 say no. Almost 10% think she was hosed down like an elephant. Oh, has she bathed since she returned? 88% say no. Almost 10% say hosed down like an elephant. 2%, I guess one of you, your finger slipped, or you're just trolling, or maybe Foodie's here, or Salah's here lurking. But we ended up with one yes. So respect to you, a yes person, for going against the flow. Unlike Foodie, she did not go against the flow because the water was not flowing. I do not think there was any bathing going on. Does she have one of those ailments where she needs attention all the time? One of those, the Munchausen syndrome, where somebody always claims to have ailments to get attention. Like she always has a migraine. She always has a, what are the other ones she always claimed in the past? That was impressive. Although to be fair, she didn't bother using a bunch. She just kind of slurped it down in one, slurped the glizzy down in one bang. But she was talking about the halal wiener dogs.
Howie, I cleaned his cage. I cleaned his cage last night before going to sleep.
She cleaned his cage last night before going to sleep. That's wonderful. Who cleaned his cage the last 6 weeks, though? That's the question that's going unanswered. Who cleaned his cage?
But we have to go to
6
pet.
weeks?
We have so much to do today, so I can't be on long. We have to go to Pet Zone. She needs like full grooming. Howie needs new.
She needs full grooming. What a surprise! They didn't bother to take her getting let somebody have her who could groom her.
Chew toys, because that's how they file their teeth, right? Did you know that about hamsters? Last night we had
Howie needs
Hardee's.
chew toys. Why couldn't they you know, chew toys are really inexpensive. Could they have bought like a few extra? They're like just like $1. Aren't they like 4 for $1 or something? I know I had a pet hamster when I was a little kid. We ended up rehoming it because it wasn't the best choice for me. But I do remember the wood chew toys were incredibly cheap. They were like not even $1 for a package, if I remember correctly.
Because like we don't have any food, we have to do a full grocery order, which we will do. So, like, it's exhausting traveling.
It's exhausting
you know?
traveling, right? Got to stand on the conveyor belt. You got to sit on the little golf cart. Then you have to take ride the wheel, get pushed in your in her chair over to her seat in her 2 seats. And then she needs to eat the meal, and then she needs to make up a story about how she only paid for one. Yeah, it's so exhausting, Foodie.
It was very nice. Like I said, getting out of this intense heat for like a month and a half. You just ate 2 apples? Granny Smith or what?
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I was super relieved to be home. Like when we touched down in Kuwait, I almost cried. I'm like, I'm eating we had Hardee's because I'm like, we can literally order from any.
Oh, I don't know if this is true, but I heard Big Papa Pump, the wrestler, is a part owner of Hardee's. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just thought that was really interesting. Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, pretty wild dude back in his day. And 50 kilograms of bath mats? I mean, to be fair, she probably needs a really big mat, right? All I can think orange is maybe because she didn't wash her clothes, they weighed a lot more when she brought them back than when she brought them there. I mean, in one of those abayas, there was a lot of fabric in one of them. I mean, that's probably the equivalent of like bedding for a king size mattress. That weighs a lot. There's probably as much in there as bedding for a king size mattress. So that's like 15 pounds, 10 pounds. All the random crap she bought in Thailand. How much you want to bet most of it she ate on the way back? Most of it was just various food items and stuff. I bet she just bought like a giant box of those 7-Eleven cheese things and just stuffed them all in her suitcase and brought them back. Something like that. Yeah, Julio's crap. That's my theory too, Kidney J. It's not pretty, but I think that's what's really going on. I think Julia just pooped the place to Poopenstein.
Like, that's what I like about being here. We could just order any fast food and not worry about. I can't have fast food in Canada. It's not halal.
What was that?
The plain food is always good. With Qatar Airways. Right, hun?
To the headline of
But,
tonight.
I was so tired. I didn't have much of an
Let's listen once more.
I can't have fast food in here. Like, that's what I like about being.
I'm going to slow it down so we can hear it a little better.
Being here, we could just order any fast food and not worry about. I can't have fast food in Canada. It's not halal.
One more time.
Any. Like, that's what I like about being here. We could just order any fast food and not worry about. I can't have fast food in Canada. It's not halal.
You can order fast food, any fast food you want in Kuwait. That's what she really likes about being here. You don't have to worry about if it's halal or not. You could just order any fast food you want. It's not like in Canada. It's not like in Thailand, those awful countries. You like the options, Animal? Oh, geez, I am so far behind on the chat. All right. Let me let the thing run. I'm going to read some of your comments in silence.
The plain food is always good.
Hello, Late Night Hawk.
With
Welcome in,
Qatar
everybody.
Airways.
I missed also.
Right, hun? But, like, I was so tired, I didn't have much of an appetite, surprisingly, so I refused a few things. As soon as you get on the plane, maybe 5 or 10 minutes after, they come around, they give you whatever you want to drink and some crackers. But then, like, maybe 10 minutes later, they're serving a full meal. Maybe they just figure people are so exhausted from waiting in the airport. I ate her snacks on the plane. Yeah, exactly. I give them to you, eh?
I am very glad
well, instead of refusing it, give it
and
to
just
you.
in case anybody thinks like, oh, that could never happen, this is something that I always have to remind myself. Almost twice, we had the Omen situation. Her and Pete's allegedly could have produced offspring, but twice it was prevented. That's my understanding. I don't know the full story, but
you were hungry. But yeah, they gave us, so for the meal, Salah had like a creamy macaroni. I had mashed potatoes. We're gonna do a video, but
That's probably the one she got
potatoes
from
and
she brought
beef.
with her.
All the food
Well,
on
don't you remember? She said she brought back 50 kilograms of stuff. That's probably what a lot of it was. Plastic forks and spoons, plates, frozen food, you know, only the essentials. Bottles of scents that she can turn into Beezer spray, Snail Cosmetics.
That's why we like to fly with like Qatar Airways or Kuwait Airways, or Jazeera, something like that, because Middle Eastern airlines, their food is halal too.
That is a
So you
good
don't have
point
to
too.
worry about
It's
that.
not sanitary.
You never buy food in the, yeah, that's the thing. Like, why bother buying food in the airport when you're just gonna be unless you're not gonna eat on the plane.
Like she was about to eat them.
The best experience on holiday? I don't know, I think the elephants were so nice. That was a nice experience. We have a fun experience that I haven't edited yet, so I'm gonna be doing that at some point.
You guys will see, it was wild.
See, that's a real migraine. That's not that get out of eating stuff. All right, I'm going to pause for a sec. Let me read through just a few comments because I'm so far down behind. That is a good point, Wookiee Lover. If they don't have enough to chew, they will chew something. They'll become a nuisance, and that's not good. Welcome in, Goose Chuck, and welcome into anybody else I've missed. Bizaya is a tool bag. She loves to travel but complains about everything. Good point. She loves to travel, but I think she just likes to have things. You're right. It doesn't make any sense because she really just enjoys having things brought to her. Welcome in, Janet Pirate. I miss you. I'm sorry if I missed you in there. There you are. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Cute doggy. Yeah, it's a good point. Would Customs let her bring in the plastic forks and the food? Queen hopes Julia did wreck the place. Okay, that's getting my next poll. Let me get the next poll up. So I'm gonna do it real quick. All right, did Julia crap up the? Hold on a second. Did Julia redecorate the apartment? All right. Oh, the mukbang table. Good point, Goose Chuck. And is now not showing her food because she's nervous. That is a good point. She's sitting on the couch, not showing the table. It could be that. It could be that she's trying to avoid what she believes to be the new TOS. Oh, and by the way, thank you to everybody who's thank you to everybody, all the awesome people who subscribed. I finally made it over 500 subscribers, and I just can't believe it. That's so amazing to me. So just thank you to everybody in here. Thank you everybody who subscribed. I very much appreciated. They would not accept foreign meats. So she probably just stuck to cheese. Though to be fair, that's her favorite anyway, right? All right. I wonder if she does it though, just like for content, or if she really thinks that it's the most interesting part of her day. Yeah, right? She's just always running through new plastics constantly. It's like even just financially, just to save some money, you'd think be a little more efficient. Oh, you're very welcome. I think so too, Wookiee Lover. I think that's really what it is. I think she just loves having a laundry service, a room service, food brought to her room. I remember Chantal gave us all the travel tip. Do you folks remember that one? Where she said that she learned it the hard way. It's instead of staying at a hotel that you think is a good deal, stay at a much more expensive hotel that comes with breakfast. Because you're going to spend more on breakfast than the difference in the room, right? Right? Has anybody else ever had that problem where they spent so much money on breakfast it would have been cheaper to upgrade to a fancier hotel? I mean, maybe if you have like 4 kids or something. But I cannot imagine for one person where it's cheaper to just upgrade the hotel room. That's crazy. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. I hope. Yeah, and that makes sense. And to be fair, meats may not be safe to bring anyway, for refrigeration purposes and things. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, I hope it just continues as normal. You know something, Nutty? That's not a bad point. It's definitely a lot easier than going outside of the apartment or actually scripting anything or doing any real analysis of anything or even planning like cooking a meal for herself. Like even just compared to Chantal's old content. I'm not like a Chantal scholar like some of you folks, but I've seen some of her old stuff. I've seen plenty of it. And I've seen old videos. Everybody remembers that one. She did the Titanic bees where she dressed up and she cooked the whole meal. And it was cringy, but she at least put some effort into it. Now she just sets up the camera and just sits there and stuffs her face. And she's gotten a lot bigger. You can see because the element before there was more to the video, more to her content than just eating. Not going to say it was better content, but it was more. There was more effort in it, at least. So it took burnt a few calories producing it. Well, that's a good point, Elizu. Yeah, and I should point that out. Even though I do believe Chantal would smuggle as much food as she could, I think that she probably realized that there was some food she probably mostly smuggled like packaged candies and ramen soups and things like that. I don't think she smuggled fresh food. Although there's probably some parasites that managed to come through in some of the cosmetics she bought, right? She bought those pre-opened cosmetics. They probably have all kinds of extra passengers in there, pathogens and parasites. That's why she loves to do the lives. Hey, well, I mean, I enjoy lives because I enjoy the spontaneity of it. I've tried recording my own stuff, like not about a foodie, but in the past on different subjects, and I always came across like very boring, like a professor. I find when I'm live, I do a lot more jokes. I think that's better. Welcome in, Jamil. Oh, I didn't see the Pulp Fiction one. Okay, there you go. So that would be a good retro one for me to check out. Oh, let me put this back on. I've kind of caught up with the comments.
Well, to me anyway, but I don't have a very adventurous, exciting life sometimes.
And it makes it feel nicer, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. They were so cute. Especially whenever someone's like, you want more? She's like, oh, the place that burned. Oh my god, I cannot believe that. Greens. I was like, watch, they're going to blame us. I can predict what haters are going to say right before I say that.
More viewers for her.
Yeah, sorry, the minute I woke up, I put some laundry in because I'll never take my washer and dryer in my home for granted ever again. Because let me tell you, it was expensive to wash and dry. One load at the hotel is like almost 500 bahts, which is like 5 KD, which is like 25 bucks. I guess it's not that bad.
I love that she calls it 500 bahts. She's been living there 6 months, and she doesn't even. She said she's been back in Kuwait for a day, and she's already mispronouncing the words again.
But yeah, I mean, if you're doing laundry often because we're going out, we're sweating a lot.
What'd you say? 25 bucks? Wow, I didn't realize that. That is a lot, and they said they were getting that every 3 days. That's a lot of money for laundry. 60 bucks a week on laundry is because it was only for a few items. It wasn't like they were getting large, wasn't for a lot of people.
Bucks. I guess it's not that bad, but yeah, I mean, if you're doing laundry often because we're going out, we're sweating a lot, so I mean, it's kind of pricey. Stay tuned for a couple of short videos. Yeah.
Oh, Goose Chuck. Somebody could post a link to Goose Chuck's video, Skinny, if you'd like.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Back home, back to work.
That woman put
back
in
to
work.
working hard. 25 to do laundry. Hi, Bandas. Yeah, I know. They do it for you though, and they fold it and everything, and it's like unwrinkled. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, right. When Foodie washes the clothes, she probably doesn't fold it when she's done. I bet Foodie's the kind of person, she washes the clothes, puts them in the dryer, takes out one outfit, puts it on, and takes the rest of it and just throws it in a heap. And that's it. She doesn't even bother to fold it or hang it up or anything. She just puts on the one fresh outfit and that's it. And I agree with the comment also. I think that's an excellent comment. Who put this in here? Wookiee Lover. Yeah, it was half-assed. It was cringy, but compared to now, right? Like also same thing with her weight. Back then, she was heavy, but now she's massive. She, maybe 100 pounds difference. So just goes to show that when we think we've hit bottom, sometimes we've only scratched the surface.
So, plus tip. She's scratching her new scratch post. Are you She's gotten bigger
Welcome
since
in,
we left her.
Espresso.
Like when
Oh,
we
very
first got her,
cute
she was just small, and now she's. What are you doing?
Oh, yes,
She's
please,
funny.
Lady Nighthawk. Thank you so much.
But yeah, the travel's over. That was the hardest part.
Okay.
Ugh. Just
It seemed a bit high.
the transfer. But yeah, like this airline, even so we had to do like a 6-hour and like 40-minute flight from Bangkok to Doha. Because most flights connect, like you have to stop off at like the Hamad International Airport if you take Qatar Airways. So then there's like a 1 hour, it was like 56 minutes flight, okay? Stay on the line.
She always takes Qatar Airways, and Qatar Airways seems nice, so I could see why. But from what I've seen on the videos, I hope Foodie does a new video of it, because that's the content we want to see, right? We want to see her struggle through the airport. But she gets the meals, and they look pretty good, and she really digs in on those meals. So I think that's why she likes Qatar Airways, because the portions are decently sized, and the food looks good quality, and it looks like they give her extra plates that other people don't eat.
Because I was watching like a bunch of 911 calls and like crime videos where like the 911 dispatcher, like the person's like freaking out.
Oh, she's gonna talk about the 911 clip she did that I was confused about. And it was only $13 or something. Okay, it seemed a little high. And Nico Cotto is dramatic, and that for all the good and the bad that implies, all right? Sometimes it's good though. Yeah, again, a foodie, like three of Foodie's abayas is probably like watching, it's like each of those abayas is like a bedspread on a king mattress. So think about how much, that's basically a full load, right? Just for one abaya. So it's a lot more work. Yeah, she doesn't ever fold her clothes, and it's probably tough for her because think of how big her abaya is compared to how short her arms are. She would need somebody to help her fold it. She would have to use like a chair to put it on. She wouldn't be able to fold it by herself. You know what, Elizu? We should go back and watch one of the Foodie's old flight videos. I don't know if everybody wants to see that or not, but if I could find it quickly, I might. The food looked pretty darn good. I'm going to say that. Maybe not great compared to a restaurant, but certainly better than you would expect to get on an airplane, because airplanes have a pretty bad reputation for food. It looked decent. It looked solid. You know, I would eat it. I'll just say it like that. I would eat it and wouldn't think twice. All right, let's let this run.
In the middle of a real emergency, and they're asking like really questions that they must have a reason to ask. I don't know, and some of them are just so rude. Like they're just so desensitized to like, you know,
okay,
human tragedy.
I'm not a world traveler. I'm interested. So is that like a device you use to wash your clothes with yourself when you're traveling? Or that sounds like it might be a good investment, especially if you're staying somewhere long term. If you're staying somewhere a short while, it might not be worth it, but sounds interesting. And you know what, Elizu? Remember, she's paying extra money just for food. By her math, she's saving money, because if she gets the hotel room that gives the free breakfast buffet, it's cheaper than what she was paying for breakfast. Considering that a fancier hotel room upgrade is going to be like $25-$30 probably, that's a lot of money she was spending on breakfast. So, oh yeah, and she's spending money for the plane food. Yeah, she was spending more because she was buying 2 seats. So she got 2 meals, and she probably got half a Salah's meal. So she must have liked it, right? Because she keeps going. She always takes Qatar Airways, and she always orders the extra seat. So,
you know, it's kind of sad, but I don't know. I guess that was the inspiration behind it, just like a parody of that, you know, and people were like, well, this is so insensitive.
Sure,
like the reaching just to like try to demonize my character more is just like insane. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of which, I did want to say, and
oh geez,
I am trying to avoid drama because it's
you're more stable now.
But do you guys remember
yeah.
before I came back to Kuwait, like before I moved out of the villa, everyone was freaking out, accusing me of starving BBJ. Meanwhile, if you put a side-by-side photo, like if you check my community post, she looks more starving.
All right, this is the comments here that I'm not going to dwell too much on these because we all know these are BS. But I wanted to point these out because they are BS. Oh, and let me actually close out this poll. I think everybody's had a chance to vote on it, and it looks like the votes are pretty much cast. Okay, so yeah, here's where Foodie talks about BBJ again, and I want to get your opinions, what you think. Obviously, we disagree, but I wanted to ask you a question on a detail in a moment. But first, let's look at the poll. Did Julia crap up the apartment? 84% of you say yes, vast majority. 15% say no worse than normal. Those are the folks who are hopeful that she had like a little kitty door or cracked in the window that she was able to get out, so she didn't have to crap it up too bad. But not a single person said no. Not a single person believed the apartment stayed clean. And I'm in agreement with that too. She said it was every 2 or 3 days. But you're right. I really shouldn't give her the benefit of the doubt. You're a squirrel with a dog? That is impressive. Who walks who? A secret feeder watcher. Maybe he's just impressed. Because I've been impressed by the amount she eats sometimes. Like, it's kind of disgusting, but it's impressive. Like, when she really goes heavy on it. Now, that is cool. That is cool. And I will say, all joking aside, if you could get a good deal on an upgrade that includes meals, take it. You don't have to eat a ton to make it worth it. If it's a good deal, it's a good deal. But for Foodie, it's always a good deal if she includes a meal. Well, Susie Q, Foodie hasn't been clear on that. And welcome in, Susie Q. And welcome into anybody I've missed. Welcome into anyone watching the replay. Hope everyone's enjoying the show. Leave a like if you're enjoying the content. And please subscribe if you'd like to see more. We don't really know. She's claiming she picked it. I think she claimed she picked them up. But every bit of fact that we're getting, the fact that Julia is overly hyper affectionate, she seems very hungry, even more so than usual. Her fur looks a little bit matted. The apartment is allegedly really dirty. What else did she say? There was something else that she also said, too, that gave us a belief that the animals were just left in the apartment the entire time. So we were just going off what we think. Welcome in, No More Nashies. Oh, thank you so much. And welcome in, Allura. Or Ilura. I'm never sure which it is. Maybe it is Ilura, because you got the lowercase I. Should go around to eating contests. You know what, Ilura? If they had a women's division, I think she could clean up. I don't know if they have a separate women's division or not, because some of those guys could put it away even too much, even more than she can do. But if they have a women's division, especially, or like a local division, a Canadian division, or oh, wait a minute, in Kuwait, she would clean up. I don't think there's anybody else in Kuwait who could match her on an eating competition. At least not in a women's division. That's right. She said she had to clean Howie's cage. Who was clean? First of all, Howie's cage needs to be cleaned at least. I want to say if you do a spot cleanings on occasion once a week minimum, but it has to be a lot more often than she was. Doesn't really make sense. I will take Foodie to an eating challenge. It's gonna be like Rain Man, where Dustin Hoffman brings the guy who he knows is really good at math. I'm gonna be Foodie's manager and bring her to an eating competition. She's gonna be my secret weapon. Salah could do that. He could take her to Kuwaiti, to like a Kuwaiti restaurant opening or something where they have a naan bread eating competition or a majboos eating competition or something, and he could put her up there, and he could really monetize her. That would be good content too. We'd love to see that. Welcome in, Seafood Pie. Oh, thank you very much. All right, let's put this back on. Let's hear some more of her rants.
Ever with me. So, but nobody cares because it's not me, right?
Oh yeah, okay. Rewind just to drop. She claims that BBJ is allegedly, quote, starving. Now, again, I'm not a cat owner. I'm not an expert on cats. I'm not even really much of a pet owner. I used to own a bird. I had a hamster for a little while. I had fish, but I wasn't like a serious pet owner ever. But is it possible that BBJ doesn't really look skinnier, but she looks maybe a little healthier because she doesn't have all that extra fur because she doesn't need to be groomed? Before, BBJ had mats of fur on her that made her look bigger and bushier. She also may have had like swollen guts from indigestion. They said she had other internal problems. So if she's looking slimmer and healthier, that's not the same thing as looking skinny. Very different to look healthy and to look a little less, not look as big. than looking skinny. I think that's two very different things. So I think Foodie is trying to say skinny, knowing full well that that's not what's going on.
Moved out of the villa, everyone was freaking out, accusing me of starving BBJ. Meanwhile, if you put a side-by-side photo, like if you check my community post, she looks more starving in the witch's hair than ever with me. So,
It's all right,
but nobody cares because it's not me, right? But anyway, what goes around comes around. I always say that, and I'm always right about that. So, anyone who ever accused me of that, please have several seats and shut it. Thank you. Have a nice day. I would be a good 911. No, I tried.
But I'll tell you, Foodie telling us to have several seats. Look, Foodie, one seat is enough for most of us. And if you know, and if we need a big seat, maybe that. But I hopefully most people here, we don't need two seats at least. We know that you need two seats.
I applied for a job there because they pay very well, but the amount of stress.
She applied for a job. No, she didn't apply for a job as a 911 operator because they pay well. You applied for a job as a 911 operator because you could sit on your butt. And I'm not trying to say 911 operators are lazy, not at all. But that's why Foodie chose that job. Just want to point that out.
I was investigated by like police, like detectives during the interview. And they were like, so why did you leave your old job?
Nutty.
And I was like, damn. Like they really grilled me to get me I don't know how they did it, but they got me to admit that I left one of my jobs because of stress.
That's going to be tough.
But you know what, to be fair, it's good that they do that because they don't want to hire the wrong people for that, because he didn't know where the cans were, but they always have crunchy food. And it was maybe like...
Okay, and I'm going to pause it because I want to hear this clip too. This is perfect timing. Pet sitting. Wookie Lover here has some information. This is just the kind of information that I don't have. I wish I had this information. Oh, and also let me just point it out. I'll put it out just because I got to shill for myself a little bit. I do have a Cash App, $sign Dr. Phil. If anybody wants to kick some support toward this channel, be very much appreciated, and I will happily shout you out. There's never any pressure to donate, but donations are always appreciated. Thank you very much. Let me get back to where I was here. So, where was it here? Wookie Lover, as a pet sitter. So she says she cleans up the small pets and sends them home in a clean house. Cats and dogs are brushed out before going home. Now, I'm going to assume Wookie Lover is an above average pet sitter. But even an average pet sitter shouldn't be leaving crap all over the place. Shouldn't be leaving a filthy house. Should at least be trying to keep it, at least not let it be any worse than they found it, certainly. So the fact that they found the place dirty and that they had to clean Howie's cage and that Julia was starved for affection makes me think they just abandoned her, basically. And Eliza, you are right. If I was Foodie's manager, I would have to charge her up front for the outhouse fee because that would dig into my profits severely. We would have to rent like 2 outhouses for her. It would be rough. All right, so let me let this run here. So this is what she's saying about the food situation.
Like half a day or something. But it's good that they do that because they don't want to hire the wrong people for that, because he didn't know where the cans were, but they always have crunchy food. And it was maybe like half a day or something before he found the wet food. Like they always have crunchies. The point is they weren't starving and they looked very well nourished compared to, even animal control. When they came, they said that.
Oh, this is back when Canada she's talking about. How the cats always had crunchy food, but they didn't have full access to the wet food. So, all right, it is what it is. We can't prove that one way or the other back then. But leopard doesn't change its spots. Chantal's recent neglect of BBJ was less than a year ago. I mean, it was pretty darn recent. It was way too recent for her to act like this is some ancient history. Yes, people can grow, people can change, people can improve. So I don't want to say that people can't improve themselves, but Chantal has not. She's the same person. She's denying any responsibility for having been an irresponsible owner of BBJ. And instead of learning her lesson, she seems to have jumped straight in with both feet as close as she can to jump, kind of hobbled into this situation with yet another pet, 2 pets. She's not qualified to care for either. Saying animal control did not confiscate her prior pets. Animal control will not take a pet, from my understanding, unless the pet's life is basically in danger. Unless it's ready to, unless it's absolutely on its last legs, falling over from starvation. they're not going to take the animal. They just do not do that unless the most extreme circumstances. So that's all I have to say on that. That doesn't prove that the animals were in good condition. It just proves that they were not deathly ill.
Now she looks actually emaciated, starving, and suffering.
See, I don't believe
And
that.
she's
Though.
being used for
That's another thing about Foodie. She says, oh, well, now she looks emaciated and starving. No, she doesn't.
abuse. That's it. I don't want to hear any of that crap ever again. That's the thing. Like, I'm always torn between, is it worth talking about things that people are literally like the things that she said were literally to try and defame my character, and I did lose a lot of support because of those claims. Literally verbally, like, claiming I starved my pets for years and stuff like that, which is 100% false. So I'm torn between, do I even address that, or do I just ignore it? You know, I'm always torn between that. It's hard.
Exactly.
If you want to be a 911 operator, you have that. They really do evaluate you, because I mean, it's tough work, man. And my stay on the line cartoon, I was like, were you hired during the budget cut? Because like, this person clearly should not be an operator. They're brain dead people who follow that witch.
Diarrhea medicine.
She is starving now, and also she lied about her being in USA, and we all see she is suffering with her. Yeah, exactly.
Again, part of it's being old.
Exactly, babe. She looked healthier in your care. Yeah. Anyway, it's their karma, not mine. Whatever. I've come to terms with what happened, and I'm moving on. Like, whatever. But I still want to point that out, that how are you going to try to defame my character and say that I was starving my cat just because Pete didn't know where the can of wet food was for a few hours when they had crunchies?
That's another good point. I forgot about that detail. They hid. That's right. They didn't even, the animal control never actually got a chance to directly see the animals. They only saw them, through a window or something. They pretended, because Chantal and Pete's pretended they weren't home, refused to answer the door or something. The neighbor said there were notices on the door 3 times that he saw. So, yeah. So, it gets even worse. We don't even have animal control excusing it. We have animal control just kind of giving up. FFG said BBJ's teeth were rotted. There was no way BBJ could have eaten the dry food without being in pain. And that would explain why she didn't want to eat much. And I remember they also tried to say that, she seemed out of it. She seemed tired. She seemed old. It was because she had the ear infection, so she had no balance. It doesn't even stop long enough to chew for a claim. And these are documented oranges. Yeah. And I don't normally bring this up, but Foodie's the one bringing it up herself. So, hey, exactly. She used them as props. And now she's blaming it on Pete's, and it's just, come on, Susie Q points out, the internet is forever, everything is recorded. This is stuff that's been around, and I don't like to bring it back up, but Foodie's the one bringing it up, so I'm not gonna gloss over it. I'm not gonna pretend it didn't happen, and always blaming somebody else. Always blaming somebody else. And when FFG's brother picked up BBJ, they gave the canned food that the Beezers sent to the house, meaning Chantal never even really fed much of that food to the cat. Wow. So even the free food, she was stingy. She was even stingy with the free food. Even stingy with the food she got off her own Beezers. That is pretty grimy. That is grimy as heck. All right, this video is running down. Not much more to see. Let's let it keep going here. Another 3 minutes.
Your fault. When she's clearly emaciated now in your care.
Emaciated
because
now.
You're an evil witch who doesn't care about the cat. And she clearly lies to her audience. I don't have the cat, but it's sitting beside her dog. Moron. And it cries in her videos. Moron. So you know what? They just want to be, they don't care as long as they try to affect me or make me angry. You're not going to affect me. I always say that. How is your mental health?
I love that line. You're not going to affect me. I always say that. I always say that. How you're not going to affect me. I always say that. I always say how you're, she doesn't realize the irony of the juxtaposition of those two phrases. You're not going to bother me. I always say that. You can't have one after the other. It doesn't work like that. You're not going to bother me. I always say that. I always talk about how you can't bother me. I always talk about that.
It's okay, Nessa. Now that I'm back on my meds, just ignore the Islamophobic nasty witch. Yeah. People are trying to get me off of YouTube by saying I'm being anti-Semitic when I say goblin. Right. It's not because she's Jewish, it's because she looks like a goblin and she's like a monster.
I can believe that.
I didn't even know, if you Google goblin,
and who are you to talk
and you even go to the Wikipedia page, it said it's a mythical creature
There's nothing about anything about Jewish people in that.
They just have to throw in. She's her own worst enemy, throwing in the eye roll, right?
They're just reaching.
But yeah, someone is like trying to get me off of YouTube, and they're like still doing videos for free. Oh my god,
Yes.
look at all the rice.
It really does.
I'm full. Yada yada yada. You know, like just getting home from like a month and a half long vacation is like, I didn't realize how much I have to unpack and organize, and like first I have to clean everything. I have to clean my bathrooms, my stores, my house.
But why does she have to clean her floor and everything? Like, how did her place get so? What did they have a boarder? Did they have a guest when she left? Like, what was going on in her apartment while she wasn't there? Why was this place so dirty? Why does everything need to be cleaned up so much? I don't understand. What was going on in Chantal's house while she was away in Thailand? Like, did they have an exchange program? Did they let some people from Thailand whose visa were having visa troubles? Did they come and stay in Kuwait for 6 weeks? Like, what exactly happened?
Do so much laundry, wash all the. We got new bed sheets and everything. I have to wash those. But alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful that we have a washer dryer, so I can, you know, like being in Thailand made me appreciate my house so much. Like,
her cat hates her. You reaction channels are real crap. Stop lying and twisting things for content.
That's what she's claiming looks emaciated. That's what she's saying looks emaciated. Just want to make that clear. I mean, I think that's the picture she's referring to. That cat in that picture looks very content to me. Does not look skinny. Does not look unhealthy. Looks healthy and happy to me.
It's insane. She's been glued to me since I came home. Insane how anyone thinks that crap is content. Why don't you talk about something relevant instead of how much rice someone eats or what their visa status is? Boring lives much?
This is embarrassing.
Hold on, is that Julia or that's not BBJ? Is that? That's Julia there. That's Julia. I take that back. That's Julia. That's a posed photo.
Insane how anyone thinks that crap.
I can't even, to be fair, I'm having trouble telling what's. Okay, that's Julia. All right. For a second there, I was a little bit confused. That is Julia. And that is a posed photo or something. Because there's no way that Julia would sit there unless she was asleep and let Foodie rub her like that.
Why don't you talk about something relevant instead of how much rice someone eats or what their visa status is? Boring lives much?
This is embarrassing.
Ram Arlen, exactly. What mess is there to clean? There really shouldn't be. And old cats do get skinny. That makes sense. I've heard that. And elderly people it happens to. That is not a rare thing. My apologies for getting the cats confused, folks. Two dark-colored cats. I'm not always the. I don't really own cats, so I get a little mixed up sometimes. Okay. So I have two choices for pulling up now for the next video of the evening. I can either do, if you want to stay on the cat theme, I can pull up a short video of Airsoft Fatty's shed where he keeps his kitten. Or I can try pulling up the old Pulp Fiction Foodie Beauty video. Folks, let me know in chat which one you'd rather see, because I have both of them. I was originally gonna do the Fatty, but the Pulp Fiction Foodie Beauty came up, and you know, I thought maybe I might run that. It's only 8 minutes according to this, the one that I have, so maybe I could run that both. You know what? They're pretty short. I think I could run both. Would you like folks like me to run the Foodie one first? Or would you like to take a little breather with Fatty for a minute? Welcome in, Larry. Is okay? Julia needs a good brushing in her armpits. I think Chantal needs a good brushing in her armpits. All the caked in deodorant. Well, I don't want to tell anybody what to do. I mean, people do what people do what you do. I don't want to be anybody to say I'm telling anybody what to do. And welcome in, Dee Dee. Welcome in. She's back in Kuwait. Yes, she is. She's back in Kuwait after the 6 weeks, I believe. BBJ is much healthier now. It is good to hear that. All right, so let me put back a little video clip. All right, so I think we're going to run the Pulp Fiction video real quick because we had a lot of fun with that Foodie video. Just to run a comparison to it, it's a short video. Let me share this tab instead.
I'll
All right,
have
everybody.
the
So we're going to compare this really quickly
Durwood
now.
Kirby burger.
All right, we're going to compare Foodie's current lazy content to some of her older content, a retro react very shortly, back when she did the Pulp, because this allegedly was much better, her Pulp Fiction dress up mukbang. I want to see this for comparison.
Bloody. And a $5 shake.
Hey, with that shake, Martin and Lewis or Amos and Andy?
Martin and Lewis.
Please come take my...
Oh God. The shock edit from Uma Thurman directly to Foodie. It's like, I'm trying to think how I can describe it. It's like being in like a dream and then waking up to a horrible reality, or like being in a nightmare and then waking up to a worse nightmare, or like maybe like being in a, I don't know. That's the best I can come up with. That was the most shocking and horrific transition. I'm sorry I didn't give a trigger warning, folks. If I ever needed one, that was it. Wow, that was spooky. That freaked me out.
Hello. You must be who my husband, Marcellus Wallace, asked to take me out for a good time. Well, I was thinking we could head over to Jack Rabbit Slim's for a burger and a shake. What do you think? So, I'm just gonna go powder my nose and
Thank you.
I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Damn shame.
This is great.
Don't you just love when you get back from the washroom and your food is ready? I love it. So, let me put down this dart.
Welcome in, Rosa Michaelis.
And let's try this. I know you're wanting a sip to find out why it's $5.
We're doing a retro react.
One good shake, huh? Well, comes with fries. I'm having
that's something that they really that is true. If you ever go to the hospital, they have like extra long needles that they have to use if somebody's like really, really obese, because they have to get to the muscle sometimes. So, you know, it's I know you're joking, but seriously, they would have to use a longer needle on her. Uma really let herself go. Welcome in, Jessica. Oh, that's a lovely picture you got there. Welcome in, Jessica. She'd be better as the Gimp, right? She won't back with her CPAP mask on there. All right, let's let it keep running. This is great.
Durwood Kirby burger, not bloody.
That's a big old shake she's got there. Oh, the metal straw. I'll tell you, that is a nice touch. The metal straw. Was that? Did they have that in the movie, or did she just do that herself?
And a $5 shake, Martin and Lewis. So, let's dig in. Now, all right, guys. This friggin' wig. I'm gonna break character. Made all this food myself.
All right, and she made the food herself. Another thing, look at the amount of food by comparison.
I'm gonna break character.
There's the massive shake, yes.
Made all this food myself.
But that's a good burger.
I have no idea.
Now that is a good burger. I hope I remembered that line correctly. This portion here is just so normal compared to what she eats now. Yes, it's big. That shake is easily for 2 people. The fries are pretty big, but the burger's not too crazy big. And I like the vegetables. That's a lot of bun. But overall, compared to what she eats now, that is a much more reasonable portion. Much more reasonable.
And it seems that most of the internet has no idea what a Durwood Kirby burger is.
Flower vase. Okay, that's interesting that she did a little factoid in here. That's the kind of editing that I wish Foodie would put in her videos, like when she did her videos about Thailand. That would have been nice to have.
I just went with a burger with stuff that I like on it. I kind of combined it with the Big Kahuna burger because in the movie,
oh my God,
when Mia's at the diner with Vince Vega, it doesn't look like there's cheese.
If she dresses like Sailor Moon, Now I know what Sailor Moon's supposed to look like. Now Sailor Moon is a movie character, but Sailor Moon is probably built like Uma Thurman. Like Uma Thurman when she was like 17 is probably how Sailor Moon is built. So I cannot imagine a worse pick for Foodie than Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is like the most teenage looking girl ever. She could not look less like somebody than Sailor Moon. Oh my God. Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is how you would describe her lower half.
Cheese on her burger. But the Big Kahuna burger has cheese. So, and I'm missing lettuce. I forgot lettuce. So if you didn't know, some of you, I mean, Pulp Fiction is a Quentin Tarantino movie. Came out in '94.
Great movie.
It's a classic, cult classic.
A little bit nasty, but but I enjoyed it still. You know, sometimes those nasty movies end up being the most entertaining. That's a damn good burger. How he said it? Jimmy's Garage.
So on my burger, I have cheese, American cheese slice.
We like a big shake in the South, right?
Jalapenos, ketchup.
I'll admit that they do sell shakes this big down here. If you order a large shake, you're going to get a shake this size. And I will admit, you know, this is a perfect time for me to run my little video.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Phil. I'm going to get some sweets and some pizza. I'm going off my diet a little bit today. Hello.
Yeah, when I go out and eat a shake, I go off my diet. I eat a big shake when I eat a shake. I did have pizza today. I did go off my diet today.
Dill relish and mayo.
It's actually an old video, but I look the same still. I haven't gained any weight, so I look good.
On a sesame seed bun. Oh, that's going to be messy as hell.
She was the iceberg.
It's one of his better movies.
All right, set up Pulp
Uma
Fiction.
Thurman is very beautiful.
Little rundown.
His best movies.
Very slender.
All right, set up Pulp Fiction for us. Give us a quick little rundown.
One of my favorite movies.
Wow.
Now, with the milkshake.
Wow, that is an interesting story. That's wild. I mean, talk about like crazy luck, like good luck, bad luck at the same time. I mean, but thank goodness though that he made it though, right? That's wow. That's a wild story, and because it is a happy ending, I don't have any problem sharing a story like that. It's got a good ending, right? You did okay. That's what matters. I mean, maybe if you know, I'm not encouraging anybody to gain weight, but at least they had a positive in his case, right? Oh, Larry's a big fan of that movie too. Titanic or Pulp Fiction? I'm a much bigger fan of Pulp Fiction than Titanic, even though I tend to like sappy movies in general. Titanic's a little too sappy for me. Sailor Gunt. Sailor Jupiter, because Jupiter is the biggest planet, right? Because Jupiter is a gas giant, right? There was a Sailor Jupiter, and Sailor Jupiter was another pretty girl, so she couldn't be Sailor Jupiter. But if Sailor Jupiter was based on being a gas giant, then yes.
Fun fact, and I didn't know this, maybe you guys did, and my cherry doesn't have a stem, so unfortunately, I can't entice you and rub it on my lips. Like Mia does in the movie.
She just called Uma Mia. Did you hear that? Oh, was the character's name Mia? Before I sound like an idiot, I probably should ask that question. Was the character's name Mia?
I can't entice you and rub it on my lips. Like Mia does in the movie. Now, that is one good shake. Whew. Don't you agree? Martin and Lewis, apparently the waiter.
I've thought about it.
Jack
I gotta
Rabbit's
get a
lunch.
cam and get less camera shots.
Sam? What do you think you're doing, Sam?
You know what? I could finish that shake, Elizu. But you know how I would finish that shake? I would not eat that burger with it. I would just get that big old shake with just by itself, and I would just eat the entire shake by itself. That's what I would do. I would have the burger like separately, like for a lunch, and then I would just have the shake for dinner by itself. Yeah, right. Like I actually eat junk food like 2 days a week at least. But I try to diet and eat well like 4 or 5 days a week. So it still comes out to more days healthy than not. But that's how I the average is out though. So I end up with a pretty good, with a good average.
There's no cats in Pulp Fiction. Is there? Well, not you. You don't have a part in this movie.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
The waiter is actually Steve Buscemi, and I didn't realize that until I watched it again. And Martin, he asked if she wants her shake Martin and Lewis, or something else.
How do you want that shake? Martin and Lewis or Amos and Andy?
Martin and Lewis.
Which, chocolate or vanilla. And she says Martin and Lewis, which, because Martin and Lewis, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin are white guys, so vanilla. So, that's what the reasoning behind that was. I didn't know that. All right.
Well,
I'm nervous to dig into this burger because I'm wearing white, and it's going to be one hell of a messy burger.
Big hair. Okay, I am surprised to find some agreement in here. And I'm not saying Titanic was a terrible movie, because I think there were some good things about it. I don't hate it, but I did not enjoy it. It's not a movie I enjoyed watching. Not a movie I'd want to watch again. Yeah, just gonna leave it at that. But I'm surprised to find that some people here were also not fans of it. I'm usually the odd man out when I say I didn't like Titanic. She's got the gas giant part locked down, right? She could be Sailor Jupiter. She could be Saturn, a Sailor Saturn, because she's got the rings around her neck, right?
Thanks, Sam. I'd love a lot of cattail hair on my burger. I'm used to it, guys.
Now, these kind of stories, I know it's a little morbid, but I have to mention this. I always kind of wonder when I hear about that. And I mean this, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but I always wonder if maybe they might have had a better chance to escape if they were healthier. You know, like maybe the weight saved her from the injuries, but maybe she might have been able to get away in the first place if she wasn't as heavy. So I'm not. That's why I'm saying that it worked out well, but I still think it's better overall to try to be healthy. Try to escape. You know, quickly escaping is better than hoping that you have armor. You know what I mean? You're better off escaping than trying to rely on your armor. That's my advice. But still, God bless her though that she survived. Right? Better. You know, if that's how you got to make it, at least you're making it. Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting reason to not want to see Titanic. But I'll tell you, that is something to be scared of. I would not want to go on a ship if I really thought enough about a shipwreck. The thought of being stranded on a boat for weeks, you know, until you die of thirst or exposure or whatever is really brutal. Oh, it's okay, Skinny. I think everybody has a bit of a romantic in him somewhere. I love how the wing almost slips off.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie too well, but did Uma really like eat the burger a lot, or did she just kind of order it and just take like a bite or something? I don't remember like her actually sitting and eating the burger. Oh, and you know what's interesting too? Chantal's hands, they must have been a little bit swollen here, because you notice they have the shape they have now with the swollen bottoms of the fingers here. And she wasn't this bad in some other pictures that were more recent than this. So for whatever reason, she had a lot of swelling going on in this picture. Look at the dark knuckles and the swelling on the fingers, which actually I believe went down after this when she was with Natter. That swelling went down a little bit. So that was interesting to me.
There goes all my Mia Wallace lipstick.
This wig is slipping off.
Oh, it happens.
My head is too fat.
It happens when you least expect it, right?
I'm gonna eat the cherry.
Yeah, right? I just eat that shake as a meal. I know it's not the healthiest, but...
Give us a quick little rundown.
If you have not seen it, and they're over 18,
Chantal.
go watch it.
All right, set up Pulp Fiction for us. Give us a quick little rundown.
I do like hot fudge.
In the movie, Mia Wallace is played by Uma Thurman.
Okay, so the character is named
And
Mia. I'm glad that I know that Marcellus Wallace is the guy. So Mia Wallace. Okay. I almost sounded like a fool saying, no, her name is Uma. That's the name of the actress, Uma. Mia is the character. Okay. Glad I caught myself on
Vince
that.
Vegas, played by John Travolta. And
I don't want to
Tarantino
spoil it for
seemed
you,
to have like
Nutty,
some kind of weird.
but there's a bit of a twist at the end. You know, I don't want to spoil it, Nutty, but there's a twist toward the end. I'll just let you know that.
Session with Uma. I think I read that he loved her feet. He has like a foot fetish.
Certainly do.
I think I look more like Vince Vega right now than Mia Wallace.
See, now that, you know, when Chantal had that bit of honesty, that self-reflection, when she could still see herself, that was when she was at her funniest. When she could make fun of herself a little bit. She's really lost that now, or at least for the most part she has. But that was when she could acknowledge that she looked more like Ving Rhames than Uma Thurman.
Just a quick little rundown.
If you don't like swearing or other words that are offensive, very offensive, you may not want to watch it. But they say like the F word like 265 times.
She's the life rap.
I'm eating as way more.
So in other words, they say the F word about as many times as your average YouTube podcast. I'm going to say that. Not to, you know, I find that like the other day I was watching Athlean X, who's like the most mainstream fitness channel. He has like 2 bazillion subscribers. All he does are videos on how to do push-ups and lift weights. Totally the most mainstream, middle-of-the-road content. He titles a video something like the best effing way to do push-ups or something. And he spells out the word, the F word. And I'm like, what have we come to when this channel that is like basically a family channel is using the F word in the title of a video? Like, I'm not offended by profanity, but that is just so uncouth to me that they're using bad language in the title of a video that's supposed to be for all ages. I don't get that.
More than Mia Wallace. My bangs! She has like a bite of her burger and then it's like, let's go dance.
I like ships, but I don't like the idea of getting stuck on one.
Oh, the stupid thing.
Yeah, cruise ships could be a little bit...
I don't like wearing wigs. It's a movie, right? So they're not going to have her like sit there and eat the whole thing.
With those bangs, she looks a little bit like Louis Anderson to me. Like if Louis Anderson dyed his hair black, that's what I'm seeing there.
Just a quick little rundown so we can get to the clip.
Raw sex appeal.
What the deal is,
I think I think it's
that
spoiled.
takes place in
Sat out a
Hollywood,
little
not
too
the
long.
industry, the town, right. And it involves this whole group of motley characters, all right? And there's like 3 separate stories in the movie, but the same characters float in and out of each story. So by the end of the movie, you don't feel like you've seen 3 stories. You feel like you've seen like one story
the thread
about
of
a
it, I thought was
community
really well done. It wasn't. I didn't think it was contrived at all. It was really well done.
Is this Halloween themed?
I really like how she edited in the clips with Quentin Tarantino, but I don't like how she left in all the clips of her scratching her wig. That is like on one hand she did a good job with editing, on the other hand she like made it a complete mess on the table, and she's constantly scratching her head. So give her a C.
Yes, it is, because I'm dressing up. A lot of the videos will be fall or Halloween related, but not all. Some will be regular videos.
In a way, it does. I mean, it's gonna take
my hair looks
at least 2 guys, right?
Absolutely. Ridiculous. Come on, bangs. Stay in place. So you can expect videos every single day.
And you know what, Dee Dee, that's a fair point. I'm going to say that. In deference now to cruise ships, and I had a friend whose dad was a cruise ship captain. As far as modern day ships, they rarely have major disasters. Minor problems do happen, power outages, and getting engines breaking down and things like that, and occasional outbreaks. But actual like fatal type crashes and those are extremely rare. Car accidents and lethal car accidents are much more likely. So just want to say that.
Mia Wallace has a date with an adrenaline shot.
Well, that's not to discredit anybody who does have any fears, because hey, I have some fears too. We all have some fears. Right?
Ready to yak about bull in order to be comfortable.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I think we have just enough time here to run the short video on Fatty's little shed, because this is the other one on my own little personal quest here. I don't think Fatty should have a kitten. I think Fatty does not have the is not responsible enough to own a pet. Let's see the conditions that Fatty's pet kitten is living in. Let's see this. Fair enough. Fair enough. You're right. You're right. Ving. To be fair, Ving was all muscles. Ving was a very muscular dude. Good shape for his size. Interesting. Oranges. And welcome to anybody I missed.
And welcome to my home. It may not be big.
Hey, Laura. We're adults here.
Hey, it's a good place. That being said, I'll have this man.
Why did I know you?
Welcome to my home. Now we're gonna go over the first room of the house here, all right? So first room of the house here is where I let my homies crash whenever.
Oh wait, just for the record, I curse plenty too when I get angry, but I just don't like seeing it used, you know, like in the title of a show, you know, for that kind of thing. That's where I think it needs to be left out of. But yeah, I mean, we all lose our temper. We all let some language slip. Nothing wrong with that.
Experiencing trouble, be it they got too drunk and just can't drive home, or they're having some baby mama drama. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, so this guy here,
buddy,
he lives in this little shed, this tool shed, on his friend's parents' property. He has a kitten living in this property. This is only a short video, only about 5 minutes.
Chilling right now.
He's got this guy staying with him now. This guy here has violent tendencies, pushed this other guy's mom, collects knives, possibly uses the knives, has some other weird. I'm not going to get too much into this guy, Robert, because I don't want to turn this into like a really, I don't want to start bringing up a bunch of negative stuff that I don't have proof about. But there's just a lot of negatives about this Robert guy. And Robert is now staying with him. And he's got a cat, apparently, in the shed as well.
I'm trying to sleep.
That being said, come on in.
What am I going to do with these?
So, to start with.
Swim goggles? Seriously?
To start with, this right here is where all my R&R happens.
Interesting.
That rest and relaxation. Sometimes it entails a simple little 20-minute weed nap. Sometimes it entails a little jerkins and a little good time. And sometimes
okay, let me pause this quickly. So let me go back just a little bit so we can get a good look inside the place. So here's a good look at the place now. The floor is AstroTurf grass. It's already peeling up if you look closely. Behind this wall here, behind this power switch, is his shower. This futon is where he sleeps. This is his kitchen. This is his kitchen, and that's it. That's the entire place. And see behind him there's the cat box behind him. You can see the little space for the cat, a little jug of litter in the back there. That is all the space the cat has. Yeah, and by the way, it looks like Fatty's losing some weight, which if he's doing it in a healthy way, I think is great. But I'm concerned that it's not. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like he seemed very odd. If he's not, hopefully he's eating something. No, Elise, there is no ventilation. So let this run for a second.
Sometimes it entails a simple little 20-minute weed nap.
It's already a
Sometimes
filthy
it entails
mess.
a little jerkins and a little good time. And sometimes it's just about getting to sleep on time. Up next, we got ourselves the shower. Now this little area here is where I like to sit down and I like to cry.
Okay, now he's got this stool in the shower here. This is not a shower stool. This is going to get rotten if it keeps getting wet. This is not wood treated to withstand sitting in the water. The fact that Fatty needs a shower stool is what it is. He's very heavy. If that's what he needs, that's what he needs. But he needs one that is not going to rot. That doesn't look like it could support his weight very well either, especially if it starts to rot from the water. If that thing breaks apart and one of those posts goes straight up, you know where, he's going to be in a lot of pain. Let's go a couple comments here. Yeah, you should not be having any pets. Exactly. And welcome in anybody who's come in. Welcome in Sunshine Country Chicken. Yeah, that's another good point about cruises. We don't exactly get to choose who we go on with. Welcome in, Enola. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's the original book was very different than the movies, the Frankenstein book. Yeah, not again, Chris. Exactly. Robert should probably be in jail or on serious meds. Well, I'm not going to say should be in jail because I don't know the full story, but it's possible he did something. It's possible he's interacted with an underage girl on the internet and he was talking with her, allegedly. Yeah, I've never seen Astro in a kitchen either. His Friar Tuck hairdo is part of a Shrek cosplay that he's given up on, I guess. Let's let it keep running a little more.
Because, let's face it, I'm just that badass. Make it time to cry tears of joy.
For him,
Make
it
cry
is
tears
funny.
of joy there. That being said, over here is where I do all my work. I'm an online entrepreneur.
I'll play this out, QZ, and I'll also advertise my previous episode I did on Fatty. I did a full episode on him about a month ago. A Detective Cochise as the co-star on that one. We talked about we did a full segment on how this place got built. And the owners of the land are, in fact, Fatty's producer. Yes, Dee Dee, thank you for pointing this out. There's a rumor that this is an illegal marijuana grow operation. I am not going to confirm or deny because I don't know anything, first of all. But if it is, that's not good. If it's not, then they should really, make sure it's clear that it's not, so that people don't think that it is. Yeah, and Chris's Fatty here has been receiving a lot of donations that are just, they seem too good to be true. Yeah, wood in the shower, especially untreated wood, potential black mold situation. Yes, this is a mold factory. There's no ventilation in here. There's no air conditioning. All there is you're going to see a little fan. You can kind of see the fan here. Behind the shelf above the computer, there's like I think there's a little window fan there, and there's also a little bit of, if you go above his head, here I'll let it play.
Entrepreneur who does advertising.
Above his head, there's a loft.
So I have a nice, powerful PC with only the top of the line stickers to liven it up, and well, I do pretty good work. Right now, I'm in the middle of a job.
That PC is gonna having that PC right across from the shower. For some reason, that doesn't seem like a good combo to me.
Bring your bank online. Let's go to crypto land. It's fun. That being said, over here is the kitchen area.
There, that is all of the ventilation in the house. That is like 90% of the ventilation right here. This fan, which isn't even fully open to the window, a window that's partially open, I don't even know. They have this one tiny sink with the faucet that sticks out too far, so it kind of goes over the edge of the sink. They got his weed pipe over here. Of course, you can see that. Looks like a coffee maker, espresso maker. They got a fire extinguisher, which is probably not big enough because I've got a feeling this place is going to catch fire at least once. Although I don't think Chris could lift one much bigger than that. So, yeah.
We got our only sink to the place. Yeah, gotta wash your hands. Right there.
Hands on the wood, that's true.
You got the stove top. This is where the ladies come over and they make me my dinner. Maybe it's a Sammy. Maybe they make me some mac and cheese like Mama used to make. But this right here.
Okay, tea. That's fair.
And it cools down. You get them up there and whew, it's a hell of a ride.
I agree, Nutty. And I'm going to take a second and just say that as well, that even though I like to crack fun on Fatty, he does seem like somebody who struggles in some ways. And I feel like Robert, the guy on the couch, is even more struggling than Fatty. So probably should be in a group home. The moves are reminiscent of Foodie's. I think Fatty's are a little bit bigger, though. A little bit more luscious, if you want to say. How is this hunk of a man not taking, right? And he was around some girls not that long ago. You're surprised none of them picked him up. And that is true. Some types of wood are perfectly fine getting wet. He's got no shortage of bongs. He's got multiple bongs because we all know that you can't smoke weed out of just one pipe, right? Anybody who's ever smoked, you've never smoked out of a single pipe, of course, right? You've always had multiple pipes because you can't just smoke out of one pipe, right? Is that it?
Last leg.
Here's all of his clothes. Of course, there's no shirts.
You guys do kind of wonder where I take a poo. But first things first, last thing's my fridge where we have nothing but.
And of course, let's look at the fridge. Oh, and notice anything behind the fridge there? That is the electrical panel. That is the circuit breaker. If there's ever a short circuit, or there's ever a fire or anything bad, all they have to do is tip over the fridge to get to the circuit breaker. Yeah, you cannot open that door without tipping the fridge out of the way. You have to pull the fridge out of the way to open the circuit breaker. That has to be against code. That has to be against code.
Most scrumdiddlyumptious of foods, like chocolate mint.
It is a cute fridge. It's smaller than Fatty, though. No lady's gonna make you dinner. No, I don't think so either.
Let's see. Well, I guess just
the only lady who would make him dinner would be Foodie, and that would be if he put himself inside her oven, and then she would make him into her dinner. Because I think it would be the closest thing she could get to halal pork.
a lot of really old milk and wrappers and stuff.
Yeah, and all he's got in the freezer is a roll of sausage. I love that. He's got his own fridge. I love how this tiny little house, this tiny little shed, there's no space for anything. He has a fridge. He has a full-size fridge. It's a small one, but he has a full-size fridge in this tiny little shack. What does he even use it for? Expired milk and a tube of frozen sausage. That's it. He doesn't even have anything good to eat.
Don't mind me.
A great location.
Up next, we have a cupboard which has some of our
This is Airsoft Fatty.
edible foods.
Airsoft Fatty.
We have a lot of ramen packets.
Here he's got a lot of ramen, ramen soup packets. He has coffee. He has Foodie's favorite, the can of Parmesan. He's got some burrito pasta, which is actually a good brand in my opinion. Classico sauce, which is decent. Animal crackers, which don't appear to be sealed. Look at that. This is not sealed. He just has it twisted shut. Oh, but that might be the cat treats, to be fair. So maybe they don't have to be sealed. But even cat treats are supposed to be sealed, right? Because bugs will get in there, don't they?
Every so often I bring a vegan person home and they can't use the packets because they got animal products such as shrimp and beef and chicken. Up here is my junk drawer, per se. It's where I keep my knives, excess tools. This is where I keep Nova, my Galaxy pipe, my 24 karat gold.
I love Queen of Awesome asked that. Is this a grown man or a child? Chris is very ambiguous in a lot of ways. A lot of ways is he ambiguous. I'll just say that nicely. He is a bit of both. He is, by the age, chronological age, he is he's 27, I think. Mental age has got to be closer to like 13, but his heart has to be like a 60-year-old's. So, average, 30? He's got three different ages. His mind, his body, and his soul.
We got definitely a blast of the past figure.
Alternate.
We also got that space up there where I put a bunch of shit that my younger brother left me in his will.
Ah, yes, Colleen. Oh, welcome in, Colleen with a K. Glad you can make it. And I'll answer your question, not a problem. He got the money through donations from quote unquote fans, most of them who were anonymous. Sounds too good to be true, but apparently that's what happened. He received over $15,000 in donations. Some like 12,000 were anonymous. Since then, he's received over another 10,000 in anonymous donations, from my understanding. So, he's got some really generous, really anonymous fans. I know, Colleen, it's hard to believe, but you can look it up if you don't believe me. That's apparently the facts. I think that's a good point. They just put it wherever. Oh, and he's got an action figure, of course.
I tell you, he's been crazy since.
Why does he have shirts? If there's anybody who doesn't need a shirt, it's him.
Yeah,
the only person with less shirts than Fatty is Coach Greg Doucette.
Not necessarily packed, but you know, we don't wear that many shirts. We don't need that many.
Even he acknowledged it.
Now, I bet you're wondering, dear Lord, where the hell does this man poop and do his business?
Yeah, it's a shed. It's not really a
Where's
house.
that grand finale room? That
no
everyone
rain
wants to
hood.
see? Showed us the shower.
You don't like burrito? All right, Elise, what brand do you like? What vegan people is he bringing home? I would guess his producer or his family's property or something.
Showed us the cat. Showed us the man who stays on his porch.
Yes, he does use an outhouse.
Where does this man do his business?
DiCeccio. Okay, I will look up
Well,
DiCeccio.
Wait, bluntly. Okay, all the way over
Welcome
here.
to Crab Apples.
The outside of my
Oh,
home.
no problem. Glad to have you.
What about this? I'm not quite done.
Yeah, actually, let me post the link, Nutty. On my channel here, I actually did an episode about Airsoft Fatty. One of my recent episodes here, I'll post a link to it. 1 second here. All right. I'll post it in the chat. This is the episode I did about Airsoft Fatty, where I cover how he got the money and what he was doing before he came to the shed. And the little, the show was called Fish Tank, and I did a whole episode about that. So I encourage anyone who wants to learn more about Airsoft Fatty, definitely check out that episode. I go into a lot more detail on how he got into this place. This is his outhouse, by the way.
Then I do Morse code. This is Morse code for us.
I think we just want to know that it's not, like on the floor. I don't think we need to know exactly. We just want to know that it's not in a diaper or on the floor. As long as he's not soiling himself, I think we're content.
By the way.
At least that's my opinion. Huge lats, right? I guess he's got the visible lats.
Throne opens up.
This
here is a luxury toilet.
Man boobs.
Christina Aguilera would have paid $500 million for this bad boy. It is called the Au Naturel Commode. It offers an open air design with tubing to help divert the scent. It is all natural, flushless.
Yeah, I will point out, Queen of Awesome, Fatty is relatively harmless. The big problem I have with him there's a few problems I have, but I'm not going to go into all of them. I kind of did it more in the other show. My big problem is he has a pet kitten. The guy is not even fit to take care of himself. His mom was a cat hoarder. He should not have a pet cat in that shack. He's not even qualified to take care of himself. If there's a vet bill, I don't see how he's going to pay for it. It really just feels to me like he should not be owning a pet. And with that, I'm going to wind it down. I think we've had a really great time tonight. I think you folks have been a fantastic audience. At least he has a stink shack, right? At least a separate shack in addition, a little less stink. We do not need to know where he poops exactly. Right? He may have some. Yeah. You could use that word. But I mean, don't get me in trouble with YouTube. But I get what you mean. What does his family have to say? His family's sadly his family's mostly passed. His mom was a cat hoarder when she was alive. So unfortunately, it seems like he's kind of picked up that habit from her, or at least that behavior. It's a good point, Colleen. It's already getting dilapidated. He's only had it for a few weeks. So it doesn't look like it's going to hold up very well. What does his family have to say? I don't know if he has any family still around. Oh, wait a minute. He does have a family member, somebody in chat mentioned. Maybe that family member will want to take him in or have him go someplace else. But right now, I don't want to say being taken advantage of, but he's got some producers who kind of have set him up with this place. Just watch I don't want to overhype my old show, but I did like almost 3 full hours. Not all on Fatty, but I did like a 2 hours on Fatty on that show. Definitely, I do a lot of history on the guy. I really go into all the details. So I encourage anybody who's interested in Fatty to check that out. I might do another episode on him in the future because I think that he's more interesting. I think he's interesting, and I think that this story is not over. He's kind of like a male Chantal in the sense that he's always looking for handouts, and he's always kind of acting. Oh, really? His cousin told him to F off. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, Chris has a bit of a jerky side to him too. That's why I encourage everybody to watch the show I did, not just to watch it, but just to learn more about him. Watch somebody else's show if you want. You don't have to watch mine. I'll post the link one more time. It's called Massively Fat Man Purchases Impractically Small Home. That's the title of the show. I think it's a good title. And let me put on the little video clip also before I leave. Here's the clip that I used from Fatty. Let me post my Cash App one last time before I say goodnight. Let me do the doctor disclaimer too. I'm not a real doctor. If you think you need a doctor, please go get one. Hopefully, I should have made that clear in the beginning. Okay, everybody, you've been an awesome audience. Yeah, Airsoft falling down the stairs repeatedly. You're going to see a lot of that in that vid. Yes, King Cobra is a mess. Is Hannibal on right now? If he is, I'll send you over there. Is anybody else? Is anybody on right now? Well, I shouldn't say anybody because I don't want to endorse somebody I don't know. But if Hannibal's on, I'll send you over there. Hey, Megan, we were just about to shut it down, but hope you had thank you for coming in. I hope you have a great night. Always nice to see you. Cobra's hitting the duster. I heard that. You're very welcome, Oranges. Have an excellent night. Yeah, let me. Is Hannibal on? Let me check real quick. If he is, I'll send you over there. I don't see any of my usual folks on, so I'm just gonna say goodnight. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but I don't see any of my usual people. So, all right, everybody, you have a great night. Everybody, be blessed. I've had a lot of fun. Let me put on the different banner to end it also. Oh, thank you, Oranges. Yeah, Cobra hitting the duster. Yeah, good night, Megan Fox. Yeah, Colleen, I am so with you. That's very sad to see. Or people who just they don't invest any of it. They just like put it in, you know, under the mattress, thinking it's gonna last forever. Yeah, just a lot of poor decision making. Good night, everybody. Good night. Apologies to anybody I missed. Anybody watching the replay. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe as well. Hopefully if you're enjoying it. And let's gear up for let's stay healthy and get ready for those fall holidays so we can really enjoy some treats when the time comes. All right, I'll see you all during the week, next week, wherever. Same time, same channel. Good night, folks. Be blessed. Have a wonderful week. Oh, welcome. Oh, good night, Hop a Cup of Java. I still welcome it to you earlier. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night.